Hello, I'm Alex. Have you ever doubted yourself? Have you ever wondered if you're an extrovert or an introvert? If you're a bad person or a good one? If you're a man or a woman? Oh, are you sure about that? And I wasn't so lucky. Watch this video to the end and find out how much fun it is to be a hermaphrodite. I was lucky to be born a true hermaphrodite, having both male and female genders at the same time. Although, let's not use outdated terms. Better call us intersex people. Doctors offered all sorts of terrible operations when I was a baby, but my parents were strongly against it. They were even complained about to the guardianship, but they confidently replied, "When he grows up, he will decide what to cut off and what to sew on." Thank you, Mom and Dad. In infancy, I had no problems because of my features. Quite the opposite. Since my childhood, I was considered almost a true angel. This began to occur when I started playing with other children. They literally listened to me. Wishing to please me and afraid to upset me, people around me literally fulfilled my every wish. I didn't understand it when I was a little girl, but then I grew up and realized my superpower. I could get anything. What would you want with that kind of power over people, huh? I decided to make the people around me slaves to my whims, and my games were strange. Both boys and girls were happy to welcome me in their company, so I could choose who to be friends with today and who to be friends with tomorrow. So I came up with a game for boys, fighting and pinning each other down, and one game for girls, car driving down the pits. Although the other children didn't understand my games, they enjoyed playing them. Well, and I got not exactly childish pleasure from them. This could not last long. My parents took me to the doctors. I don't like doctors, ugh. It turned out that I had hormonal disorders that made me behave not like a child, and my pheromones attracted people like flies. So much for power. My parents were again told that they would have to choose which therapy to perform, as a boy or as a girl. And we settled on a therapy for boys. The hormones had subsided, but not too much. I lied to my doctors and parents, and I had a lot of fun when I was alone. But all of a sudden, one day I looked at myself in the mirror and realized my breasts started to grow. The last thing I wanted to do was go back to the doctors, so I tried to hide them. I did not change my image too much and continued to look like a boy, not paying attention to my breasts. I lasted almost 6 months before I got a doctor's appointment. Stupid cold. Of course I was discovered. It turned out that, as before, the two reproductive systems in me could not decide which was more important. I had breasts from the first, and hairiness from the second, and my constant delays in the shower. And again, I needed to choose something. I was tired. As time went on and the hormones were hitting my head hard, I couldn't resist them anymore. I asked the most beautiful high school girl out on a date. I was ready to hear no, but to my surprise, Kimberly smiled and said, "Okay, why not?" We had an unforgettable evening, and then another one, and more. From kissing, we quickly moved on to what my hormones craved. Kimberly was surprised to find out that I had breasts and something else, but that didn't stop her from becoming a passionate lover. Kimberly. She did things to me that made me crazy. She loved both my male and female sides while keeping my secret. I fell in love with her, but I still couldn't admit it to her. And when I was almost ready, Kimberly went off to college, leaving me alone. She promised to come back, but I knew better than to believe and hope blindly. We didn't have time to really build a relationship. The time passed too quickly. I knew in my heart that Kimberly would meet the man of her dreams in college and forget me. Kimberly wrote to me every day in social networks. I read her enthusiastic texts and realized that she was happy there without me. So soon she would understand that she did not need me. Don't they say that first love is forever? Do you remember your first love? Are you still together? I couldn't forgive her for having fun while I was suffering. And I decided that I would have fun too. Even more so, the hormones were still there. I met different guys and girls. Sometimes I thought that the flame of love was about to break out, but it was just passion. I soon learned how to go from first base to fourth in just one night. I thought it would help me spark a new love. But my heart was busy. I still loved Kimberly, and I didn't want her to hear about my adventures. But there would have been something to tell. My adventures each time crossed the line. My parents were worried about me, but it only made me angry. Stupid parents, stupid doctors, stupid illness. Maybe if I was normal, Kim wouldn't have left. But one day, when I woke up again with strangers in the same bed, I realized that I couldn't do it anymore. I ran away from there, came home, and threw a tantrum. I just missed my girlfriend. I didn't want to go that far. I kept thinking about Kimberly, my favorite girl, my other half, and my soulmate. I stopped answering messages a long time ago, and Kimberly stopped texting me. I realized that a simple message with a confession would not be enough. I decided to take a desperate step. Get to her right in the middle of the school year, declare my love, and offer to become a couple. I took the bus that evening so that I would be there by the morning. The campus turned out to be a vast place full of young people. Yes, now I understood the reason for Kimberly's delight. I wandered around for hours looking at passers-by in search for her, and all of a sudden, Kimberly, beautiful as ever, stood near the trees and laughed with the girls. I ran to her and hugged her tight. Kimberly had only time to sigh, and I was already in full tears. I whispered in her ear, I love you, I'm sorry, I missed you. And then, suddenly, I was roughly dragged away. I looked up and saw one of the guys from the Brotherhood, which I was with not so long ago. He said, "What do you want from my girlfriend, boy?" I realized that he didn't recognize me as a boy. I was furious. "From your girlfriend? This is my girlfriend!" I shouted, and hit him in the jaw with all my heart. The guy fell. Kimberly grabbed my arm and pulled me away. She led me around the corner and gave me a big kiss. She was thrilled. Later, she told me that this asshole wouldn't leave her alone since the beginning of the year, and I did not know about that, having stopped reading her messages. But now she was sure he would leave her alone. After all, she had a boyfriend who was ready to protect her. In a world of assholes and louts, every girl needs a protector, and for love's sake, that protector will be me. Although this does not mean that I have ceased to be a girl and love purely female things, if you know what I mean. But who am I? But only God knows. Let the doctors worry about it. But I'm fine as it is. What are you willing to do for love? Tell us about it in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss new stories.